Thank you very much. I'll start with you, Ms. Bradish. As a former antitrust attorney who studied these markets, Mr. Berchtold, we've heard serious concerns from artists, promoters, venues that Live Nation's dominance in the concert tour promotion can pressure venues to use Ticketmaster's primary ticketing service exclusively. How else would you explain?
By the way, if you look at the difference between the Target Center in Minneapolis and the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, the Target Center is ticketed by Access. The Xcel Energy Center is ticketed by Ticketmaster. Look at the number of shows that play Xcel, and you'll see they far exceed the number of shows that play Target. And when you look at and break it down a little farther, you'll see that most of the shows that play Xcel are Live Nation shows, and they bring very few to the access-controlled venue, the Target Center.
Okay, thanks for that local reference. Mr. Berchtold, one way that Live Nation eliminates competitive pressures by locking venues into multi-year contracts, whether they 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. If you've tied up 80% of major concert venues with multi-year contracts, where is there room for one of your competitors to get in the door?
Yes, Senator. First, I would note that the 80% reference, I believe, is from a 2008 Department of Justice study. We believe that our market share is substantially lower than that.
How much lower?
We would, variety of ways of estimating the market share in the industry, depending on what you include. We believe our market share would be somewhere between the 50 and 60% range.
Keep going.
Yes, I will note a very specific indication of the high level of competitiveness is first that with almost every contract renewal we have over the past decade, more of the money gets accrued to the venues as opposed to the primary ticketing provider, which would be one indicator of a very competitive marketplace. Secondly, I would note the success that SeatGeek had between 2018 and 2022, adding roughly 15% of the NFL and the NBA teams as primary ticketing clients, showed the level of movement of these clients.
Okay, Ms. Bradish.
So, of course, it makes it much harder for particularly a newer entrant to get into the market if everybody is already tied up.
And Mr. Grotzinger, do you think that, to go to another topic, that Live Nation's concert promotion business, the fact that they're combined, has made it harder for you to compete for primary ticketing with Ticketmaster?
Yeah, absolutely, it has. Typically, we'll go.
Mr. Lawrence, what was the amount you said, the percentage of your tickets, some of the highest ones you've had recently, that were fees?
Typically with Ticketmaster, we'll see a 40%-ish or closer to 50% fee added on top. We have seen really outlandish numbers, like we had a show last spring where there was an 82% fee on top of the base price. And again, we have no say in or we don't even know what it's going to be until it goes on sale.
Mr. Berchtold, you heard Mr. Lawrence. With Ticketmaster's market power, which we all know exists, we'd be kidding ourselves if we said it didn't exist. Why haven't you done more to reduce fees?
As I noted in my comments, Senator, the fees are set by the venues. The Live Nation venues have fees that are consistent with the other venues in the marketplace and cover the cost of the operation of those venues.
Mr. Lawrence wants to reply.
We definitely ask venues before almost every show, what's the ticket fee going to be, both venues that Live Nation owns and ones that they just operate. And they always certainly don't take responsibility for the fees. So I don't know who is doing the fees, but we ask that question to the venues and they say, not only do we not choose what it is, we don't even know what it is. We can't even tell you what it's going to be. So I don't know where the answer lies, but no one's taking responsibility.
Last word, Ms. Bradish. Transparency would be helpful to know what the fees are. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
The market can't work well without transparency.
That's clearly there isn't transparency when no one knows who sets the fees.
Yes.
Okay, with that, Senator Cornyn.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all the witnesses.